Hey guys, so I've got a couple of interesting little stories today. Well, not really stories, these are not made up, this is actual true facts. One is going to be all about Bitcoin adoption, things that we need to do as Bitcoin investors, which is definitely going to help that Bitcoin adoption, stuff you can really do. Now, secondly, what we're going to be looking at right now is this right here. So this is the Basel Committee on Banking Supervision. What we're looking at here is just which currencies the banks, yes, the banks, which have been totally against crypto, apparently, just which cryptos they're actually really investing in. And it may not be what you think. So this report came out in September 2022, which was basically last month. And it's very, very long. It basically takes a whole bunch of different banks and looks through all of their investments, everything that they're investing in. You can see here we got Central Bank of Argentina, Australia, Belgium, Brazil. We got Deutsche Bank, Reserve Bank of India, Indonesia, Italy, Japan. I mean, they're all in there. Basically, all the big banks, even the likes of the ECB, Federal Reserve, etc. I mean, everything is in here. And they are investing in crypto. Yes, they are, despite what you hear in the media. Now, if we scroll all the way down here to page 109, I believe it is. There we are, we get to this one. So this is the bank's exposures to crypto assets. Now, if you do want to actually read this little report for yourself, it's kind of interesting, then I'll leave a link for it down below at the bottom of this video. So I'm not going to bother actually reading all this out to you now. This is just to make you aware that this is out there and you can go take ahead and look at this, read it all through for yourself. It does have quite a few pages in here, but this is the really important, or at least the interesting stuff. So right here we've got a couple of charts and we're going over just what they are invested in. So you can see here we got Bitcoin, Ethereum, number 2, so Ethereum's in the blue, Bitcoin here is in the red, but this is not all Bitcoin. So Bitcoin actually it's just over 32% in actual real Bitcoin. So no surprise really, Bitcoin is the big winner there, but everybody really expects XRP. That's really the big one. Every XRP video I've ever done always seems to get people in the comments saying they don't want XRP. It's the bank's coin, the banker's coin. And of course that isn't actually true, because if you know anything about Ripple, XRP and the function of the XRapid system, you know the banks that are using it don't actually need to hold any XRP whatsoever in order to benefit from XRapid rather than Swift. So no, most of the banks do not actually hold XRP. In fact, the holdings there for XRP is just 2%, I believe, of the banks that are holding cryptocurrencies. The amount of XRP they're holding would be 2% overall. And you can see here that Bitcoin is 31%, Ethereum is 22%. Then there's a bunch of other assets which are backed by Bitcoin, like the Grayscale fund, that type of thing. Then we've got Cardano, only 1%, Solana, only 1%, Litecoin, less than 1%, Stellar in there as well. We've even got the likes of Chainlink in there as well as Polkadot and Cardano, both quite high up on the list. And if you're thinking, wow, these bankers are all investing in crypto, this must be epic that they're holding all these cryptos, don't get too excited, because it turns out when you actually look into why they're holding these cryptos, it's not for the bank long-term strategy for holding Bitcoin. No, it's actually something completely different. So here's the distribution across activities. We're talking about crypto holding and lending. So that would be like hodling their own coins for their own personal use in the bank, or lending to other customers, etc. And then we've got clearing, client, market making services. So this would be type of banks like Wirex or Crypto.com. But these are obviously bigger banks, like we saw the list of them earlier, and they're basically allowing people to trade on their platform to buy and sell crypto, so it's acting as a market maker, those types of services. And then we've got a very worrying one, which is custody, wallet, insurance services and all that. Now, if you know anything about Bitcoin and blockchain technology, you don't really need to give other people custody. You also don't need insurance because it's on the blockchain. What can go wrong? And then as you scroll down, the awful truth comes out where over 50% of the crypto that they're holding is in custodial wallets, okay, as a sort of insurance product for crypto holders. So the majority of people using bank services for crypto are doing it for crypto custody. That means that they are not listening to the fundamental rule of Bitcoin, which is not your keys, not your crypto. For goodness sake, do not give your crypto to the bank. I believe not so long ago it came out in the terms and conditions that people realized that if you had your funds hold on Celsius and Celsius were to go insolvent, which they did, then your funds are not your funds. They actually belong to Celsius, and that your funds would be used in part of that insolvency. Well, exactly the same with any bank. We could be going into the biggest banking crisis of all time. These banks may need to get bailed out by the government, etc. Do you think if they're holding your crypto, that crypto is yours? Of course not. It's their asset. So guys, just, do the sensible thing, get a Trezor wallet, hardware wallet, and just look after your own crypto, your own Bitcoin. Don't give it to the banks. It'll be just like the gold back in the day when people took their gold to the bank. Bank gave them notes and then one day said, well, we're keeping all your gold. You keep that paper money. It's just really not worth it. I do not think people should do that at all. Then we've got clearing, market making services. That makes the other bulk, and it's a very small percentage, only 4%. 4%, which is actually the bank holding crypto, hodling crypto, and holding it for lending to other people, other banks. So very, very small amount of that is for actually holding crypto. Majority of it is for nonsense services. But more and more banks are getting involved. They know that their customers want to be involved in crypto, and we're seeing more and more banks coming on board, more and more banks offering more and more different crypto related products. And whether I believe that people should be giving the banks custody of their crypto or not, at the end of the day, that is where the bulk of their services are coming from. So clearly somebody thinks that that's a good idea. So if you do want to check this out yourself, just scroll down below this video in the description, and I shall leave it there. The main of it starts here on page 109. So the other interesting little story that I had for you guys today is this one here. It's about McDonald's, my favorite fast food restaurant. I do love a bit of McDonald's. I used to work there just like many other people. I had 5 stars. So like most teenagers, back when I was one myself, I had a job in McDonald's, and I'm pretty aware of the way that McDonald's do business. Basically, if they're going to bring out a new idea, rather than just bringing it out in every single McDonald's all around the world, they do little trials, and if those trials in those select stores prove to be a good thing for both McDonald's and popular with the customers, then they just expand out maybe nationwide, and then if it's successful in one country, then they'll start moving it to other countries until it's just all over the world. And what they're doing now, what they're trialing out, is accepting Bitcoin in a little town in Switzerland. So if you're going to Switzerland, please do go and actually spend some Bitcoin there, because if McDonald's find that people are actually using Bitcoin rather than just hodling it in their little wallets, then they'll probably start rolling this out in other cities across Europe, maybe America. Obviously, El Salvador, McDonald's there is already doing it as well. So if we, as the crypto Bitcoin type community, can prove to the likes of McDonald's that we are willing to actually use Bitcoin as a currency, then that will mean that other large companies will also start accepting Bitcoin, and we go into this Bitcoin mass adoption, which was always talked about back in the day. And we could actually be seeing the progress, the steps to actually get to that mass adoption. And I think that is going to be fantastic for Bitcoin, for people like me and you, which are currently being abused by our governments, where they're trying to tax us in every way possible with crypto, because in some instances, they say it's just an asset, it's a digital asset, because it benefits them with the taxes. And then with the taxes again, they say it's a currency. right? And they want to regulate it as if it's a financial currency. They're really getting the best of both worlds. And if we can actually prove that it is actually a currency, people do use it for actual real purchases, like McDonald's. Now, you probably don't just want to go in and buy a cheeseburger because the transaction fee is going to be $1 anyway. But I think this really could be the start, the opening up of Bitcoin and the crypto technology now eventually finally starting to make its way out into the world into real life, in real life situations as a real true currency. I think that's great. Hope you do too. Please do comment down below, hit the old like button and all that good stuff. Maybe watch this video if you haven't already seen it. It's absolutely cracking. And I'll see you guys in the next video.